Hello our parents, welcome back to the new academic year 2021. We are here today to answer all of your questions about the new reopening plans for this academic year. We have Ms. Ghadeer Abu-Shamat, our superintendent, who's going to try as much as she can to answer all of the questions that we received and to tell you about our health and safety measures that we will be taking this academic year. Welcome, Ms. Ghadeer.
Thank you, Ms. May. Hello, our parents. Hello, our students. We missed you a lot. We are ready to start our new academic year in such challenging circumstances, yet we want to make sure that our students as well are ready and they know what are the expectations once they come to school in the coming few days.
First, can you explain to us about the different groups that will be coming to school, and for those parents who chose only distance learning, how will it look like?
So as per the reopening plan, we have two forms of learning. We have the distance learning as well as the blended learning. When it comes to distance learning, this distance learning is the form of learning for those who chose to have distance learning only, which is 100%. So the students, of course, are not required to come to school. As for the blended learning, which is the face-to-face, it will be as per the groups. We're going to have a Group A and Group B. So the students, those who are designated in Group A, they will have special days that the principals will share with you shortly to let you know what are the days of the Group A to come to school. So in general, they will come to school 5 days over a period of 10 days per week. So a week, they will come 2 days, and the other week, they will come for 3 days. And the rotational day will be Tuesday, which is the shorter day this year in comparison to last year, which was Thursday. So the timing for both of them will be the same. Those students who are studying at home for distance learning, they will be at the same time having the same lessons with the students, those who are inside the classroom. So there will be no delay when it comes to the lesson planning, the same task. However, of course, we will have some differentiation to make sure that we are meeting all their abilities and the resources that they have in their hands. When it comes to the students according to the groups, of course, we have KG1 only, those who have face-to-face on daily basis because of the nature of the grade as well as the numbers. However, we don't have face-to-face on daily basis for all of the grades because of the big number of students who opted to have face-to-face, which is blended learning as per our reopening plan. It's very important to highlight the health and safety measures, Ms. May and our parents, just to let you know that we took the measurements for each and every classroom in the school to make sure what will be the maximum number of the students in each grade or in each class according to the area. So in some classes we will have 9 students, however in other classes we might have 12 students or sometimes 14 students. We need to make sure that at all times social distance is taken into consideration as per the health and safety protocol that was published by KHDA, and the distance as per the measurements, it's 1.5 meters across all the grade level. So this is how we are preparing the students. This is the classroom. This is the way we prepare the classroom. We're not going to have 2 students sitting on the same table, for instance, unless it's a big table and we're having the 1.5 social distance, as you can see in some of the classrooms. When it comes to the sanitization, which is another important thing that we are taking into consideration, all the students must have their sanitizers, their personal sanitizers, as well the school have the plan to make sure that sanitization is taking place on daily basis after each lesson with the homeroom teacher as per the instructions and as per the protocol.
What about face masks? Are students and staff required to wear face masks all the time?
As per the regulations, the students under 6 years old, which means that they are in KG in particular, they are not supposed to wear a face mask. However, the teachers should, and for the students, they must wear their face mask. It's a must. That's why we requested the parents to send extra pairs just in case they have, after the break, it's better to change it, to have a fresh mask, and just in case accidents may happen, to make sure that the students, they have their own mask. So wearing a mask is a must. The moment they enter the school, the moment they leave the school, they must wear the mask at all the times.
What about water dispensers? Because students are used to refill their own bottles at school. What are they supposed to do now since the water dispensers are taken away?
Students are required to bring extra water bottles, their own. It must be labeled by their names. They're not supposed to share. It's not something that I can share, my water bottle, and we're not going to have any provider when it comes to the water resource in the school.
Regarding the uniform, like everybody knows that we changed the school uniform this year, and some students bought it and some students just stayed with the old uniform. What about students who are sitting at home for DL, for distance learning? Are they supposed to be in uniform or they can just be in any professional attire?
No, we decided this academic year, based on our experience with this distance learning last academic year, that the students should wear the uniform even if they are studying according to the distance learning plan. This will give our students the routine, they will keep them in the mood of studying, they will make sure that they are part of the teaching and learning process that is taking place in the school. So wearing the uniform, it's a must. According to the letter that we shared with you earlier. And please remember, since we are changing the uniform for this academic year, we are having this transitional year that it's fine to use the old uniform, but as of next academic year, the new uniform will be a must for everybody. But this year, it's fine to use the current uniform or the old uniform that we had last academic year.
Thank you, Ms. Ghadeer. We also received from KHTA that parents are not allowed to be in the building. So how will the pickup and drop-off look like this year?
This is a very important note, and why we're not supposed to have the parents on campus, simply to make sure that we're having social distance at all times. We're having the students, yes, in 50% capacity, but we can't accommodate the parents at the same time. Unless there is an important matter, either we can have virtual meetings or we can have a or appointment to have a face-to-face meeting if needed and when needed. When it comes to the pickup and drop-off procedures, we're going to have a special procedures that are going to show it to you shortly. We designated two gates. The two gates that we are talking about, the entrance should be from gate 4 and the exit will be from gate 3. This is when it comes to our students in the middle and high school, those who are leaving with their parents. As for the buses, of course, they will leave according to our schedule. They will leave on time, taking into consideration the social distances on the bus. However, when it comes to the parents who are picking up their children, there will be special arrangements as per families. Each family will have a special number, and the car will have a sticker to have this family with this number. For instance, the family X has the number of 1, which means that the security will provide us that family with the car number 1 has arrived to prepare the students who will be sitting in designated areas to make sure that we are keeping the social distance at all times. And it's very important to listen to the instructions to the security at this critical time. We can't allow anybody to step out of the car to go to pick up their children, to make sure that we are abiding by the health and safety protocol. We are making sure that the students having the social distance at all times. Don't forget that we're keeping our students in bubbles, and having any stranger coming to these bubbles is not allowed. So please, we would really appreciate your understanding, your cooperation in such critical timing, and just to listen and follow the instructions that will be given to you in writing, as well as the security will give you the direction to make sure that we are having a smooth departure in the afternoon. When it comes in the morning, we're having 2 gates, and actually we're having 3 gates. Gate 7, we're going to welcome our students for K to grade 5, and we're having thermal scanner to check the temperature early in the morning. And from gate 1, we're going to have the bus students coming to make sure again that we're checking their temperature again Once they step up on the bus, they're going to have temperature check, and once they enter the school as well, we're going to check their temperature again. We're going to have the boys from the male reception entering to make sure again we're having temperature check. And then from the other gate, the girls side, we're going to have gate 9. The students, the girls only, will go through that building to make sure that we're having thermal check through the thermal scanners that are located in these designated areas, and then they will go directly in the morning to their classrooms according to special class list that is shown for all the students to make sure that they are not lost, and to make sure that they're going to their right designated classroom as well.
Since you mentioned, Ms. Ghadeer, that the KHDA regulations do not allow parents to come into the campus, into the building, what about KG1, students who are in school for the first time and they would want their parents in with them?
While we totally understand the challenge that the parents may face, especially KG1 parents, so that's why we scheduled certain timing that we will provide the parents to make sure that they can drop off their kids, especially for the first day till they settle down. However, the homeroom teachers and the team in the KG will provide you with the scheduled timing to avoid again any crowdedness and to make sure we're keeping and maintaining the social distance at all times.
We received another question about the books. So are students who opted for distance learning required to purchase the books, the hard copy books?
Yes, definitely, because as I mentioned earlier, the students who are studying or they chose to have the distance learning, they will be in direct contact with the class that is taking place inside the classroom. So definitely they need to make sure that they have books in their hands or the online resources that they need to follow, especially that, don't forget, Ms. May, that we're having the books and the soft copy of the book is available as well. So they have to make sure that they have the books in their hands. You never know what will happen in the coming few months when it comes to assessment. Are we going to have pencil and paper assessment in January? So yes, it's advisable to have the books with the students and to make sure that they purchase them as a reference in their hands.
Parents are asking, because this year we changed from Power School, so if the parent wants to be informed about all the new events that are happening or circulars or information about their child, where do they go?
So yes, definitely, this is a very important point. We're having GEMS Connect, and we introduced as well Phoenix Classroom as well, that they will have an access to their students when it comes to their marks, when it comes to their achievements, report cards, attendance, and so on. So definitely we're going to have like focus group orientation and training to let you know how would you access that software, and we're not going to have multiple resources based on your feedback last academic year. We're going to have one access to make sure that you have all the information that you are asking for in one place only.
That's the best thing that happened this year. One more thing, we received questions from bus students, from parents, asking how are we going to take the measures of social distance in the bus? How can that look like? How will it be?
So it all depends on the regulations that we received. Definitely that we're going to have some empty seats, because as you know, the capacity of on the bus is 50% only. So we're having a thermometer on the bus. We're having some tape stating that you can't sit, or labeling or signage to state that you can't sit on the seat. We're having seating plan to make sure that the student is sitting in his seat without changing places, and this will be very much obvious to the students. It's not a complicated process. They will see that this seat you are available, or you are allowed to sit here, but you're not allowed to sit on this seat.
What about the resources? Because we know in every classroom, students share resources, whether it was for the little ones Play-Doh or counters. How are we going to manage this in the school and have them not share?
Yeah, well, every time we used to say always to our students and everyone, sharing is caring, but not at this stage. The students are not allowed to share any of the stationery, any of the resources, and the teachers, they know that. That's why they're going to have labels for the students. So these resources will be used by student A, student Muhammad, Alia, and so on. So we're not going to have any of the stationery to be shared. That's why we're going to label them to make sure that no mixing, and it's very weird whenever we are telling the students sharing is caring. Now we're saying don't share anything, but of course it's for health and safety measures and to make sure that we are avoiding any of these mistakes that may happen, so sharing is not allowed.
And I'm sure it's the same for the parents when they send their kids to school. Anything that comes with them, their water bottle, their lunch bag, anything that comes with the students need to be labeled, so we don't share between students. The question that we have to ask, God forbid, if we found any suspected case, I won't say confirmed because we need to go through procedures to make sure it's a positive. If we have a suspected case at school, whether from a staff member or students, how are we going to handle it?
So, God forbid, hopefully, but we are ready for such scenario. In principle, we should report the case. We have a safe zone in which we can take this case, suspected case, to this place to do the procedures as per Dubai Health Authority, as well as KHDA, as well as GEMS standards, and then we will take serious action when it comes to the way we deal with such case. And definitely we make sure that this person must do the test to check the result. In case it's, God forbid, positive, we need to have the 14 days quarantine as per the regulations. And in case it's negative, we need to make sure that he's taking the rest, since there were some certain symptoms, maybe a regular flu or cold. So this is the procedure usually we follow. But there is a place where we need to isolate the case, whether a student or a staff member.
What about all AKNS staff members? How did you confirm whether they were traveling or they came back, whether they tested positive or they were with other people who had COVID?
Yeah, so the school planned to have a test as a must before all the students' arrival. And then KHDA mandated that all schools should have the test done for all the staff members. So our school, of course, all the staff members went to this test, and so far all the results are negative, alhamdulillah. But we need to make sure that it's 100% to make sure that we are good to go. And those who are not having their test results out, they're staying home just to make sure that we are not having direct contact with them. So far, we make sure that no one is coming back from other country. No one. We are following the protocols. They should have an undertaken letter that is done by GEMS, the same as for the parents, the same as for the students. We are making sure that those who are traveling or having even relatives coming from other countries, that they're having the test done to make sure that they are having negative results. Even if their relative are in quarantine, we are making sure that they are in quarantine till we have a result that shows that it is negative. So this is it's becoming now the norm, to be honest. It's not something that in the teachers they're accepting that, because by the end the health and safety of our children is a priority, as well as the staff members, of course.
Thank you, Ms. Ghadeer. That was so informative.
Thank you so much, Ms. May. We're so excited to welcome you back and looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday, inshallah. For those who are coming, which is grade 1 to 3, just let me emphasize that we are starting the school as scheduled, as per the approved calendar, on Tuesday. Everybody will be on distance learning. However, we are starting to welcoming 1 to 3 on Tuesday. Thank you very much.
Thank you.